You wake up, no memories, no instruction, just a vast, beautiful, and completely empty world. You build a dirt hut, survive your first night, and eventually conquer the Ender Dragon. But have you ever stopped to look around and ask why? Why are you the only human left? Who built the colossal monuments scattered the landscape? Today we'll pierce together the broken history of Minecraft, from the deep, dark depths of the ancient cities to the buried mysteries of the desert temples. We are uncovering the truth behind where you came from and what happened to the civilization that walked this earth before you. To understand who you are, you have to talk about them, the ancient builders. Minecraft is not an untamed wilderness, it is a post destruction graveyard. Look at the structures across your world: strongholds, ocean monuments, nether fortresses require massive engineering skills, advanced geometry, and deep knowledge of meteorology. The ancient builders were a massive, thriving civilization of humans. Just like you, they could craft, mine, and build. But they were so powerful, where did they go? The proof of their tragic ending is standing right in front of you every night. The zombies wear the exact same blue shirt and blue pants as Steve. The skeletons are physical remains of the fallen. Something drove this master civilization to extinction, forcing them to flee deep underground, across dimensions, into the history books. Let's start our investigation with one of the oldest structures in the game, the Desert Temple. At first glance, it looks like a simple tomb, but if you look closely at the architecture, it tells a story of worship, resource hoarding, and paranoia. On the front of every temple, you'll find the symbol of the chiseled sandstone, which depicts the Anika, an ancient real-world symbol for life, but also hints at the extension of soul energy. The ancient builders didn't just use these as graves, they used them as vaults to store their most precious treasures: diamonds, golden apples, and mysterious records. But why the TNT trap? Who were they trying to keep out? They weren't just trying to keep monsters out. Monsters don't care about diamonds. They were trying to keep out other humans, or the rival factions out. The desert temples prove that before the collapse, the ancient civilization were running out of resources, growing paranoid, and heavily weaponizing their sacred spaces. Let's climb back up to the top and look at the actual architecture of these buildings and the outside and the Anika on the building. Where's the exit? Chiseled sandstone. Staircases. Anika symbol on the outside. Where did that come from? As the resources dwindled in the overworld, the ancient builders turned their eyes to the stars, or rather to the underworld. They discovered obsidian. They discovered fire. They opened the first nether portal. We saw the scars that are everywhere in the form of ruined portals. These broken, crying obsidian structures are scattered on both dimensions. The builders flooded into the nether to mine quartz, ancient debris, and most important, gold. But the nether wasn't empty. It belonged to the piglins. The ruined portals were the remnants of a massive, interdimensional war. Look at how the netherrack bleeds into the overworld around the portals. The nether was literally consumed your world. The builders erect massive nether fortresses to secure their strongholds, but the extreme heat, the terrifying monsters, and the relentless piglins' armies pushed them back. The portals were shattered, left to decay for centuries, leaving behind a scarred world. With the nether compromised and the overworld surface becoming increasingly hostile due to the rising undead plague, the builders made a desperate move. They went down, deep down. Welcome to the ancient cities. This is the pinnacle of their civilization. Their cities are massive, organized, feature grand avenues and shrines, but they were terrified by something. Notice the gray wool paths? The builders walked in absolute silence to avoid triggering the skulk. The massive structure in the center of the city is made by reinforced deep slate. The block completely unobtained in survival mode. It looks exactly like a portal. The theory, the buildings were trying to open a gateway to a third dimension. They even did redstone. Teaching their civilization or leaving it for somebody else. But they didn't find safety. They actually pulled something out of the portal. The skulk, a parasite, biological entity that feeds on experience and death. And among with the skulk came its ultimate protector, the Warden. The ancient city became a massive grave. The very place built to save humanity became its final resting place. The remaining survivors fled to the only place left, the sky. They built strongholds, jumped into the end and coursed fruit to survive, and eventually mutated into the faithless, tall Endermen. Which brings us back to you. Who is Steve? Who is Alex? You're not just a random traveler. You are the ultimate survivor. Perhaps you were left in a stasis pod inside the stronghold. Perhaps you're a clone, or simply the last surviving child of the dead empire, finally waking up after centuries of nature reclaiming the earth. You possess the exact same architectural knowledge, the same crafting skills, the same ability to master the elements as the ancient survivors did. The world of Minecraft isn't empty because it's new. It's empty because everything else is gone. Every time you mine a block, explore a temple, or light a portal, you aren't just playing a game. You're rebuilding a broken legacy. If you enjoyed digging into the lore of Minecraft, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let me know in the comments below. What do you think happened to the ancient builders? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. This is Crafting with Henry. See you next episode.